your host Marlai Hanobuti. Thank you so much for joining me again for another edition of Married Clinic Live. Thank you to all our subscribers, to all our returning subscribers. I do celebrate you all. And for all our followers and all our social media platform, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your followership. Thank you for your participation. So today I'm going to be talking about the full story of the man who married a prostitute despite knowing that she was into prostitution, before he married her. Now, this man approached me and he discussed at length with me and he explained how he knew this lady was into prostitution because he met her there. Apparently, I think when he too was into that kind of life, he patronizes them, so to speak. So he went there, and according to him, that he saw that she's young and he felt, oh, maybe need or poverty drove her into prostitution, and he felt, well, if that is the reason why she went into prostitution, then her case may be redeemable. She may be redeemable. Now, there are two types, or there are two reasons why people go into prostitution. The first could be because they are needy, they've tried all they can or all they could, and they cannot meet their needs. Life has been hard on them. They've tried everything and they just feel, oh, maybe I should try out this. So it's situation or condition that made them to go into prostitution. Then the second reason could be as a result of laziness. I mean, the people who are lazy, they feel, oh, the easiest way to get money from people is for them to just offer their body without having to, do any tedious task or sell anything or do trade, do business, work, look for job. No, they don't want to do that. They just feel, oh, the easiest way for me to get money, all the things I need, all the comfort of life is to exchange their body for money. So this man felt that, okay, this lady, maybe it's poverty that drove her into it, and according to him, he liked her and said, okay, you know what, let me take you to my house. I mean, he was working, he had a good job. So he said, let me take you to my house, and he had his own apartment. Let me take you to my house. Leave this hotel or motel where you are. Come and live with me in my house. And from there, we will make arrangements on how to be married and all of that. Now, to cut the long story short, this man took this lady to his church to be attending church with him. Don't forget, the lady has started living with him. But he thought that it was situation or condition that pushed the lady into prostitution. Not knowing that this lady, she's really into it because she doesn't want to work. That is what she wants to do to get easy money. So she was taking her to church, thinking that she would change, even took her to introduce her to pastor. Pastor said, you said you are considering marriage with this lady. You have to be very patient, or you have to wait and be sure that this lady is truly or genuinely changed or a transformed person before you marry her. But I guess it was youthful exuberance, because then, according to him, maybe he was in his early 30s, or maybe, either early 30s or late 20s. So youthful exuberance, he didn't listen. They started having sex. Of course, she was living with him before they knew it. She had the first child, a boy. Before they knew it, she had the second child, a boy. So he didn't have a choice than to marry the woman, And according to him, this lady, after giving birth to the two children, And I'm so sure in between she must have been, maybe those times he goes to work, she must have been going back there. You know, I think he was on leave and he now saw how men were coming to knock on their door, were coming to the house. Some men with car will come to pick her and she will say she's going with them. And the man was like, excuse me, what is going on? And she will say, after all, you met me doing this work before you said you wanted to marry me. So at times he would keep quiet. But he said that there were times he had to fight with the men, that he would have to fight and say she's not going anywhere. And the men would be saying, I already paid. He had to refund money severally. Then in some cases he will have to fight. In some cases he will have to go there and carry her away from there. So he said that he saw himself fighting with different types of men for no reason. He kept fighting. And one day he sat down and asked himself, is this how I will keep on fighting with different men just because of this lady? You know, and he has pleaded with her. He has said, if it's money, see, this is my salary, you can have it. It's because of you and the children that I'm working. But this lady is not just contented. You know, she keeps going out there, going back there, still sleeping around with different men, even after giving birth to 2 boys. Now, the moral, so now, according to him, she doesn't even come home anymore. She has stopped coming home. Before, according to him, she may come home once in 2 weeks, once in 1 month she will come home. But now, for months, she hasn't come home again. But I asked, I hope she's still alive. They say, yeah, very well, that because she called, the children have a little phone that he bought for them, because those children are now 13 and 11. She calls them to just say, hello, how are you? Hope you are fine. Have you people eating today? That's all. And when the children ask him, mommy, where are you now? She will cut the phone. So the man is asking, what should he do? Is this how he's going to continue with his life? You know, because this woman has refused to change. This is 13 years. They've been on this. He's been fighting with men and all of that. And, you know, and according to him, that lady too, you know, she behaves like a guru. She's a fighter. She will come to the house at times to fight with him, disgrace him and all of that. But the moral of this story actually is what I'm going to talk about, because I feel that it's important to talk about it. Number one, this young man knew that she was into prostitution before he went ahead to say, I want to marry a prostitute. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes we feel that we have what it takes to handle some problems or some issues, because you saw that she was a prostitute, but you felt you can handle it, that you have what it takes to handle it. But the truth is, sometimes, most times, you can't handle it. You are the one thinking you can handle it. When the situation is on ground, you will realize that you don't have what it takes to handle the situation. Now, first of all, if at all you are going to try such a thing, let's even assume that, okay, you are so much compassionate towards her, you want to help her. You must have, number one, the financial muscle to be able to do that, because those kind of people, it is money that they answer to. So you must have the financial muscle that can control her and make her look away from that place. Then secondly, you must have what it takes to remove her completely from that environment. Completely. So let's assume maybe she is doing the prostitution in Ikeja or in Lagos. Then you must have the wherewithal to move her outside of Lagos, or maybe to somewhere else, or to move her abroad, or just move her. She has to be far away from where her customers are. Number three, you have to ensure that whatever phone she has is thrown into the sea, so that her customers cannot connect with her. She can't go there. They can't connect with that. But you don't have what it takes to do all of this. Or maybe you have, you are not thinking along that line. Then besides, when you are not prophet Hosea, it's not God speaking to you to say, okay, go and marry a prostitute. You did not see God's face to ask God, are you the one sending me to marry this girl so that I may be instrumental to her redemption? You did not find out. You just say, I just like her. I just like her. You think you can handle it, but you cannot handle it. Now she has stopped coming home. The problem is now yours, because according to you, you will cook for the boys. After going to work all day, you will come back at night to cook for the boys as a man. The boys, they don't have motherly care, no fatherly care, because you would have gone to work from 6:30 in the morning, and you say you don't get to back until 9 p.m. Those boys are just there struggling with life, coping by themselves. And what good example does she even have to give to those children, even if she were to be at home with the customers coming? She even said some of them, they will come, the children told him that they will come knock on the door, some will be playing with her in the room there, the boys will be looking and say, I say, young man, you've not seen wife, you've not married at all, you've not yet married wife. You are going to have to start all over again. This one cannot be wife, because see, we have to be honest with ourselves at times, because some people will be like, it's this cross he should carry. Well, thank God for God, and thank God for the Spirit of God. I think some of us, we know the difference. We know the difference. So I would blame the guy, and I wouldn't blame him again, because I've seen cases really where someone will fall in love with a prostitute. Now I've seen one case where the man fell in love with a prostitute, and he did practically all these things that I said. He was financially influential, so he took her away completely from that environment. She disconnected her from the people that sells Igbo or marijuana to her, disconnected, threw her phone into the sea. She cut her off completely, took her away. I think they even relocated or something. If you see the same lady today, her life is so transformed that I think I learned she is now a pastor of a parish or something. You will never know that she was into that kind of life before. That is how it should be. And I've seen another case of another man who went to marry a prostitute, and he too regretted it, because the woman has gone with someone else after also giving birth to maybe 2 or 3 children for him. So see, before you start thinking that you can handle some things, you need to think again. Don't let your fleshly passion drive you into doing things and thinking that, when the problem arises, I'll be able to handle it. You see, you can't handle it. By the time the issues start coming. That is what has happened to this young man. And I hope that other men out there will learn their lessons. You are not Messiah. You are not a savior. Of all the women in the world, that is the one you said you want to marry. And one thing about these people, these women of easy virtue, the prostitute now is who I'm referring to as women of easy virtue. One thing about them is that when they want to settle down, they now look for church guys. They look for the best of men, the financial well-to-do men, the calm, the easygoing, the spiritual one. Well, perhaps you approach when she wasn't ready to settle down. She wasn't thinking about marriage. So for her, she still wants to be in the market. She still wants to be in town, gyrating, enjoying her nightlife, sleeping around with her customers. And you think, I think the best thing to do is to marry her off. No, it's not by marriage. That is why I tell some people, at times you people will think that what you need is marriage. But what you don't need marriage. Some of you, what you need is mind transformation, character transformation, first of all. Transformation of your life. Go and make progress with your life first. When your life has changed, then you can now sit down and think of marriage. But you've not built yourself, you've not developed yourself, you've not developed your career, you've not developed your financial capacity, you've not developed your spiritual muscles, you've not developed anything. You are singing marriage for money tonight. I want to marry, I want to marry, any little I want to marry. See, for some people, the definition of marriage is sex. We are looking for free sex. That is what some people understand marriage to be. Or someone that will cook for me, or someone that will do this for me, that will give me free money and carry my body. That is marriage. But that is not marriage. That is not marriage. The marriage that God created is not all these ones that we are seeing today. So please, young people, please, I want us to be careful. It's good to be married. It's good to get married. But you have to do things right. You don't just jump into anything. You don't just marry anything. You don't just marry anyone. You want to be sure that this person you're going to get married to will give you peace, will prolong your life, will prolong your days upon the face of the earth, not the one that will cut it short and give you high blood pressure. You want to be sure that this is someone that will stay with you and stick with you till old age. Not someone that will run away or run off with another man or another woman. You want to be sure about all these things, and for you to get to know and understand these things, it requires time. You give it time. You have to be patient. You can't just rush into it. You can't just take the words of mouth of people for it. That's because she said, "Oh, I will change." Then I believe she changed. No, you must see the fruit. You must see what will convince you that the changes has already started. So unfortunately, we didn't check out all these things. So now it's in a mess. It's in a mess. And I pray that God will help him to come out of it. And I hope that we too, we are learning from all of these things so that we don't make the same mistake as young people. I would like to stop here now. I'm still going to talk about one more thing. I still have one more video. Please, let's try to watch that as well. I think you've learned a lot this evening. I remain your host, Malaya Hanover, and I hope to see you again soon. As I see you again, I say